Okay. What's going on, everyone? We are here with two very special and new guests, as you guys can tell. I'm gonna let them do introductions in a little bit, but today the purpose of the video is to kind of talk about the day in the life of an informatics pharmacist. So, very exciting topic. Let's get to it. Let's start with some introductions. Juste?
Hello YouTube world, or whatever platform you're watching this on. My name is Juste Munezero, and I am from a little country which you probably don't know about called Burundi. Nevertheless, to give you a little background story about myself, I did my undergrad at Fair State University, go Bulldogs. I did my pharmacy school at Hampton University, go Pirates. I did my PGY1 residency at Yale New Haven Hospital in New Haven, Connecticut, go Bulldogs. And then I did my PGY2 specialty in informatics over at OHSU in Portland, Oregon. And now I am a med management informaticist or an informatics pharmacist.
My name is Michael Bundang. I am a informatics pharmacist out of Jacksonville, Florida. Did my undergrad at the University of North Florida and pharmacy school at University of Florida.
All right, so here we actually all work together in a large institution, so we get to specialize in different areas. Not typical of other institutions. I think it's usually like 1 or 2 pharmacists that do pretty much everything, but because we're at a large institution, we get to specialize. I kind of started off. So here at my current institution, I kind of specialize in infectious diseases, dabbling in like antimicrobial stewardship, infection control, and clinical decision support. I kind of let these two kind of describe a little bit about their specialty. You want to go, Michael?
Sure. I specialize in order set build, which involves a lot of working with groups, providers, including endocrine, nephrology, anesthesia, basically all the general specialties that you would think that would work.
So pretty much everything.
Actually, you do a lot of pain stuff too.
Yeah, pain med.
Everything under the sun. That's what Michael does.
He's a jack of all trades, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Right.
Okay. Juste?
And I'm a little bit more focused mainly on anesthesia, surgery, so the surgery module of called OpTime. Anesthesia, they don't have a real creative name for it, they just call it anesthesia. And I'm also part of the Willow team, both inpatient as well as ambulatory, and also pain management as well.
Okay, so let's get to kind of the core content here. We have a couple other mini topics that we're going to touch on, but we want to talk a little bit about like the day in the life. And in kind of the previous videos, I think most of the viewers understand that it's kind of different, right? It's your day-to-day is not usually the same. But let's kind of think about a random day, any day you want to pick. You know, think about a day, maybe a good day. Not a bad day. You want to pick a good day, and think about what are some of the high-level things you did. Like what did your day entail? So, like for example, most of the beginnings of my day, I usually do emails, probably very similar for everyone as well, but emails, do a little bit of tickets. You know, we get tickets submitted from end users, work on that kind of stuff, and some meetings and things like that. But I think most of the viewers know some of my day-to-day already, so I'll kind of let you guys speak very briefly on some of your day-to-day tasks that you would do. Whoever wants to start.
After we good.
I mean, typically, the day involves pretty much emails. You can't get away from this day and age. Lots of emails.
Lots of emails.
But we have meetings to talk about new build, meetings to talk about upcoming build, which I just said.
That's all right. There's a lot of build.
Right.
Meetings to talk about
when to schedule the next meeting.
When to schedule the next meeting, yeah.
We'll have a meeting to schedule the next meeting for that meeting, and we'll get back to it at the follow-up meeting.
Yeah, and so right now we're up and running on our EHR, so we're supporting that. So we have requests to get things either updated, fixed, at a high level. That's pretty much kind of our day.
My day-to-day literally consists of decompressing when I come into the morning. And when I come into the office, I like to relax. I like to get myself settled into my workspace. And then from there, like I said, like Michael said, and like Brian said, I think you can't get away from your emails. I get about 50 to 75 emails. Just half of them may be important, half of them may not, but you gotta siphon through to make sure that you're not missing anything. I have a lot of meetings. They vary from day to day, but on average it's about maybe 3 hours almost plus of meetings. And a lot of phone calls have to be made to end users, to specialists, to make sure that everything gets done. And so that usually, and then I also troubleshoot a lot as well for my specialty areas that I support. So that takes up all of my day. But during that time, I'm also making sure that I'm listening to my music because I get focused when I do that. So yeah, this job allows for that. It's nice.
Gotta have your jams on. I have my Latin music playlist.
Okay.
Latin music.
Nice. I have one of those. Very nice.
Okay, yeah.
South African house music, for those that have never heard it, you should check it out.
I try not to listen to music.
This guy.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna talk briefly. There's usually a lot of us usually talk about bill, but you know, for many of the viewers out there are pharmacy students,
Right.
pre-pharmacy, and they're like, what are you guys building? It's like, if you guys can kind of talk a little bit, very briefly, on, you know, what does build mean in your world, you know, because everyone has different kind of build that they do. So for me, briefly, I kind of live in the infectious disease world, and an example of a build might be like bug-drug mismatch. Patient has a positive culture, no antibiotics. I build a rule that will find all these cultures, they're positive, return true, go to this patient, find any, if he has antibiotics. If he doesn't, then return true. And when these two match, then, you know, fire a rule to the physicians. And that's kind of build for me.
Okay.
What about you, Juste?
So, as I said before, my specialty is mainly the realm of OR. And I would say the majority of my build, because anesthesia uses specific medications that are specific and surgery uses specific medications that are certain to that practice, a lot of it is spent building medications out that need to be administered and documented and billed all within one time, one instance. And so I spend a lot of my time building a lot of those medications out and meeting with different end users. We have anesthesiologists, etc., that we get and collaborate with to build these medication records. And then from there, we also collaborate with a lot of different specialties, a lot of different informatic groups to build a group of orders, which is something that he'll probably talk about a lot because he delves pretty deeply into these things called order sets or bundled orders. And I do something that's kind of specific where it populates all of the medications onto a specific procedure, and it provides either the surgeon, the CRNA, the anesthesiologist to have these populated orders that can automatically allow for easy access to be able to find when they're doing these heavy or sometimes very difficult cases. And then all of that while making sure that I follow the med use process, because that's very important from when you actually have that medication and you are going to have that drug. You're going to place that order in there, you're going to place that administration, you're going to document, you're going to monitor, you got to rebuild, you got to bill, you got to also supply that medication back so you're always replenished, and you got to make sure that all those components are in there to get the job done. That's my build.
Michael?
My build pretty much entails order sets, putting together all the orders that providers and other users would need to access when in the EHR. work with a lot of different specialties, building ERX or medication records so that they are in the system that is usable, that is safe.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That's true. He works with just about everybody, to be honest.
Pretty much everything. Backbone of the entire build right there. Okay, we'll go on to another question that I think is kind of a stereotype of a lot of informatics pharmacists, where basically, you know, at least this was my impression. I think when I talk to students, they think about this as well, as like informatics pharmacists don't really socialize. They're just like hanging out with their computer, and that's it. They don't talk to anyone. But I think that is like completely opposite. We do a lot of communication in general in our day-to-day. But what percentage of the time of your day would you say you spend interacting with like others? It doesn't have to be end users. It could be like colleagues that you're actually talking and collaborating. What percentage of your day would you say that is?
I would say 100%.
100.
I was going to say, like, I don't think there's well, I can't really say 100%.
I'm like 90 maybe. I got an hour off.
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like that. Thank you for addressing that stereotype, because as an informatic pharmacist, I like to say I'm a pretty social guy, and I'm always trying to network and communicate with other different areas. And so a lot of my time, I feel like I'm a project manager in my role, and so I'm able to reach out and talk to a lot of different groups in order to get things done, because without them, without their input, and without us collaborating together, things won't get done. So you can't really be too antisocial, because you have to be able to approach somebody. And the people that I work with are not statistically, but they're like, they have a stigma as being the hardest people to work with in usually any health system. And that's the anesthesiologists, the surgeons. And I think it's important that you kind of exude this, you know, confidence, and, you know, to be timid is not really in their nature, or they'll kind of eat you up and they'll run over you and make decisions without your input. And so kind of being assertive and, you know, really showing and being passionate about your job and your work, and being able to explain to them why we're going to do the things we do. Communication is key, whether it's going to be written, whether it's verbal, whether it's, you know, nonverbal. You know, it's what we do in our daily lives. It's what makes us move forward, and it makes all of us do better in our jobs, to be honest, because I know whether I'm communicating with providers or my colleagues, we're always getting something done. We're always, you know, collaborating and things like that. So I think communication is key. The stereotype is false, I'd like to say, because we talk a lot, we socialize a lot, we collaborate.
Yeah, there's a big sense that we're the IT folks on the team, but in reality, you still have to have that clinical knowledge, because a lot of the things we have to create or build into the system, we pretty much try to evaluate the clinical appropriateness, and it actually helps because you see the content that they want added, and it kind of reinforces what you learned in pharmacy school. So it's a good mix of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we are pharmacists first. Let's put that first and foremost. So we do understand pharmacy-related items, like Michael said. And shout out to all the informatic pharmacists who know this and practice this. And then from there, we also are the liaisons that kind of bring everything together and make everything make sense.
All right, guys, so we'll keep this video short. We're gonna wrap it up here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Thank you very much, ImproRx, aka Brian Fung, for having us on here. It was a blast. I want to hear from you all. I want to hear all levels, P1 through P4, whether you're a pharmacist, whether you're interested in informatics, whatever it is. I want to answer your questions. We want to answer your questions. So make sure you go ahead and drop those in the question box below.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, guys, until next time.
Hey, network.
That's it.
Shout out to Neil and his team over there, John Chang, all of them. Shout out to Karen Umali out there at Yale. Love you guys. Subscribe to Juste Because too. Hey.